I want to include this extra bit of tutorial to, again, demonstrate the potential of the hatch command when it comes to renderings. Let's say you had a wall here and you have two lamps, and you need to make sure that the design shows that there's lights emanating from these lamp fixtures, and you're using hatch patterns. That's all you have at your disposal. Use hatch patterns. So you could type H for hatch, and I can basically go into gradient and try to mimic a light source. So for example, if I use a spear here and I put the hatch right there, for example, well, that's quite a bit of light in the middle of the room. We can adjust the colors from blue to some wall color, what have you. But you can see there's a huge hotspot here on the screen covering the entire wall. Doesn't look quite right. So another suggestion is to basically try to divide and conquer. So what I mean by that is that we can try to subdivide the screen. I'm going to delete this hatch and apply the hatch to smaller portions of the screen. If I draw a line from the middle of this to the middle of this, and then put a hatch on the left side, the center of the hotspot where the brightest light was coming from would be in the center of the screen. So if I do a hatch here, and I chose gradient, and I chose this one here, and I place it right there, for example, just above that lamp, then it looks like, well, that room's pretty bright. If I chose that gradient here, I can adjust these colors. And again, you want these to be very subtle. You want to, in case, in the event that you're doing a wall, for example, you want the first color to be the color of the wall. Let's say, for example, here, the color of the wall is this tan color. And the color of the hotspot, where the light fixture is coming from, the light source, is the same color. However, you go to more colors and you go true colors and you tone it down. You make it brighter, but slightly. So let's say I go a little bit higher, and that's making it lighter, and hit OK. And so what the effect is, I need to exaggerate a little more. It looks like there's light coming from there, but it's not. There's not much of a differentiation between light and dark. So what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll tweak it some more. And I'll make it even brighter and see if there's a huge difference. And you see, for example, that wall is illuminated by that light there. I could even make the edges of the room darker to make it even bolder. So I can come into here and tell this swatch here, it has a little line that traces it. You know, that one's active right there. And this is the alternative color, because I'm choosing, this is the wall color. I am choosing an alternative color here. You choose that one there, and you get, you know, a little more dramatic image of the light and the dark. The trick is to make this more subtle. You need to close the gap. Make sure the colors are closer together on the color scale here. If I chose this, that's a simple wall color. And I basically came back here and chose the center of the hotspot here and just, again, tone it down. It'll become a lot more subtle. For example, there. I can then take this and I can use the mirror command, MI for mirror, click on this object, and then snap it to the other side of the room with my ortho turned on. So mirror this from the center of that room, click here, enter. And you see, it looks like those rooms are illuminated by those lamp fixtures. You might want to get rid of that joint there. If I got rid of that line there. That line there, basically, and mirror this. Mirror this. MI for mirror, click this and point straight down. And you see, it looks like those rooms are illuminated by those lamps. Another option is to draw a line down the center of the room and then draw a line from the center of the lamp. And this is a different effect altogether. Let's say we do a hatch here, and then I will choose gradient. In this case, I won't use that gradient here. I'm going to use this gradient called linear gradient here. I'll use that one instead. And again, I'll want to make sure the colors are more reasonable. So let's choose a wall color. Start with the wall color first. I'll make it this dark color here, for example. And then this will make the exact same color, this dark color here. So this gradient allows me, because it's linear, to highlight where the lamp is and not the other side of the wall. So this is the center of the hotspot here, that color there. So I'll simply go into more colors, and I'll take that true color here and I'll tone it down. And then you get this effect. Removing that border and mirroring this line here. Mirroring this object here, grab that endpoint, midpoint of the lamp here. So mirror this, choose the center of the lamp, pick a point straight down and hit enter. And then flip this over. I'm not sure why it made the exact copy, but I'm going to flip this over by simply coming to here and typing 180 degrees. And it flips it over. I think I copied it not quite exact. So let me draw a line from the middle of this straight up. Okay, there it is. So here's a mirror. And make sure you grab the end of the, you see it's not quite there. END, grab the, it's probably easiest to draw a line down the center. Then I can use that line to flip and then erase it. So ideally I want to have a line there, a border. So I do a mirror of this along this line here and drag it straight up. And then take this piece and rotate 180 degrees. There. I'll draw a line here. Erase that border there. Erase. Let's do this again. Erase this line here. So I'm basically mirroring this about this line here, flipping this over 180 degrees, enter, and then taking them both, this one, and mirroring them over to there. I don't need that line anymore. I simply need to mirror this object and this object about that middle line. And you see what I've done here. I wanted this to be back to 0 to make the dark between the edges, and then this would be flipped over 180 degrees. As an example, a different way of illuminating a room from this lamp here. Maybe it's a light that's more vertical. The darker you make the edges, the more exaggerated it becomes. So for example, if I take that color there, this color there, and make it slightly darker, it's going to exaggerate this effect. It's more extreme. You see this? And then apply that to the others. And again, you'll want your center lines to do this work. So try your hand at modifying images using the hatch patterns to create the illusion of renderings in your drawings. Take care.